everybody. I hope you're having a great day. It is about 11:30 a.m. I am visiting a friend who just so happens to have an Instant Pot. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how I cook my beans. I used to do my beans stovetop, or I used to do them crock pot, and I will be providing a recipe on how to cook them in your slow cooker or crock pot and also stovetop. The best results is when you have soaked your beans overnight, which I did. Soak them and I drained them and kind of went through them and made sure. Hi, baby. Hi. I made sure that they are all nice and ready. So I've soaked them. They have been soaked overnight. Hold on, baby just fell. You okay? Oh boy. Okay, you want to say hi? Want to say hi? You want to help me put the beans in here? Okay, so soaked beans, I think that's what we were. Soaked them overnight, and I have 2 cups of soaked beans, about 2.5. It was like 2 1/4 of a cup, but just I did 2 cups. You want to go outside? Then you need to go outside. So 2 cups of soaked beans, and I put 4 cups of water. If you were doing it in the crock pot, you would bring your water all the way up to you would pour your beans, and then you would bring your water up to the top of the crock pot. You can cook it on low for about 8 to 10 hours in the crock pot, or you can cook it on high for about 4 to 6 hours. In the stove, probably about 2 to 3 hours on medium to high heat, and then bring it to a simmer once it's all boiling. So about 2 to 3 hours. In the crock pot, you pour them in here. I have 2.5 cups of beans, and I have 4 cups of water in my Instant Pot. Hot. You want to see the beans? Say hi, beans. Okay, so I have my beans in here. I have half of an onion. I'm just putting the half, I guess the whole half inside of the Instant Pot. And then I make sure it's closed. And the Instant Pot is going to be in airtight or seal or pressure. You want it to be pressurizing. Hi. You say hi? Okay. And then just so you can see the front part. Sorry, he was good to go before I went live. Whew. Okay, I'm hot. Okay, so here is the Instant Pot. I was sharing with you guys yesterday how the pressure cooker, it's high or low. On the Instant Pot, you have all these lots of settings, and it's very intimidating to me personally. But it does have a slow cooker setting, so if you were trying to measure or weigh whether to get a slow cooker or an Instant Pot, I'd say get an Instant Pot, and then that way you could use it as a slow cooker or pressure cooker. Okay, so I'm gonna put it for pressure time. No, sorry guys, hold on. I don't have my glasses on. Sorry about that. Okay, menu select. Pressure time. Okay, here we go. So if you just do pressure time and then you go to the minutes, I want to do it for, it's soaked, so I'm going to do it for 30 minutes because my beans are soaked. If they were not soaked, then you would go more like 40 to 50 minutes. So because it's soaked, I did a manual setting, which is just by pressing pressure cook time. I increased the minutes, and I'm going to click start. And there you go. So now it's started. So I'm going to go into the tomatillo salsa. Let me bring you on over here. What kind of beans? Oh, okay. The beans that I am using are pinto beans. You could do black beans or kidney beans, whatever beans that you prefer to use. I'm making nachos, so I'm going to do some ground turkey or what have you. And pinto beans blend really nicely. So for the tomatillo salsa, what you need is, let me set you up over here so you can see the stove. Okay, cool. So you can see the stove where I'm at. I might be doing videos here more often because there's a lot of places that I can prop things up. let me show you what a tomatillo looks like, just in case you're not familiar with a tomatillo. It has a skin on it. It's low acidic, so if you struggle with like any acid, reflux, or any gastrointestinal issues, tomatillo is considered low acid, so you could still enjoy green salsa or those types of things. So it's in a shell, in a like a husk. So you peel off the husk, and then you just make sure that you rinse or wash them very thoroughly, because it does have kind of a film on it. And then, so I did 2 pounds of tomatillos, and then I went and put them in boiling water here. Okay, so they've been boiling, and I also cut up. I have a bunch, 1 head of cilantro, and I also have 3 minced garlic cloves in here. And I just realized that I forgot to bring my onion, so hold on. So I have a half of an onion here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my friend has a Blendtec, any high power not garbage disposal, any high power blender would suffice. So the neat thing about having a high power blender is that you can rough chop all your stuff. You don't have to, dice it up very small. I just rough chopped here and threw that into the Blendtec or the blender. Before I add anything else, I want to add my tomatillos in here, because you do want anything that's like kind of liquid based, you want it to be at the bottom of the blade, otherwise the blades won't blend everything very nicely. So these have been boiling, so I'm going to, I forgot a strainer, sorry guys. Okay, like I said, I'm visiting a friend, so I'm not finding a blender or a strainer offhand. I'm just going to use a pot, go old school. So I'm straining out the majority of the water, okay, here. So here's your tomatillos, and then I'm going to hope that they all land into the Blendtec. So let me just direct it. So you just boil them on medium-high heat for maybe about 10 minutes. You could also roast them if you wanted like a roasted consistency, especially if you're making green salsa. Roasting them tastes amazing. So we have that here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is oh, you know what? I could just add everything right in here. So here's my cilantro and my garlic. You could also add lemon to it if you would like, if you're doing salsa. I wouldn't do it if you're doing like enchiladas, maybe the tortilla soup. And I do say tortilla soup, but you could obviously do chicken tortilla soup. I personally am not always a fan of including meat in my personal meals, but my family does enjoy them. Okay, so let me get the lid. Here's our handy dandy lid. Make sure everything is on top. Okay. Okay, here we are. I think you can see me all the way over here. Let me just move this over here just a tad, and I'll bring this forward. And I don't have a Blendtec, so I have to see what is going to be best here. I'm going to go pulse. No, I'm not going to go pulse. I'm going to go sauce. Okay, so I kind of want it to be chunky, so whatever, maybe a pulse a few times is going to be perfect, but I want to show you, you now have your green salsa. So you could add serrano chiles to it if you wanted it to be the salsa that you can eat like chips and tortillas, or tortilla chips with, or serve over a meal. And I did not put peppers in it because this is for my enchilada sauce or my tortilla soup sauce base. So I did not put actual serrano chiles, but you could also like you can make, like do 3 pounds, do it all at once, and then pour the last third of it, pour 2/3 of it out, and then use the last 1/3 and then add chile to it. So here's to show you, I'm just pouring it out. Like I said, I'm at my friend's house. So when I go home, I have my, I'll just bring it down here so you can see it. There's my tomatillo salsa. So beautiful. There we go. Beautiful. And there's no added preservatives in it like you would with your canned. And the flavor is amazing. I always mention you could use salt and pepper to taste. You know, I usually add at the very end a sea salt. It's the Kirkland brand, Himalayan sea salt from Costco. So that's what I have to share for you today is the tomatillo salsa or sauce. You can add peppers to it. I do 2 pounds. That way I can have it for my enchiladas and for my my tortilla soup. I'm going to be doing those 2 this week. I'm going to evaluate and see. We are having nachos for dinner tonight. So I might go on again later on this evening and show you how I had that prepped or save that for tomorrow. But beans, you could use stovetop, crock pot, or pressure cooker, instant pot, and then tomatillos. You could also, instead of doing the tomatillos, boil them on the stove, you could also use your instant pot or pressure cooker, and you would be able to do that for like in 5 minutes. I just was wanting to do both of them at the same time. And you can also do the slow cooker with the tomatillo salsa or sauce if you would like to, just to kind of have that delicious smell in your home. And you could do that slow cooker for probably on high for about an hour, hour and a half, or on low, on high for probably about 30 minutes to an hour, or on low for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I will share recipes in the comments underneath this video, and if you have any questions or concerns thus far, please continue to do so, and I would love to hear about you trying any of the recipes that I've been sharing. And have a great day. We will be in touch.